Okay, so here we've got a function f, and it has the property that the definite integral of f from -3 to +3, that equals 20. So in part A, we want to find the value of the definite integral from -3 to +3 of 1/2 of f of x. Well, we saw this property that we can just pull this 1/2 out front, so we'll have 1/2 of -3 to 3 of f of x dx. But again, that's what we're given. We're given the value of that definite integral as 20. So we'll have 1/2 of 20, or just 10. Part B, we've got the definite integral from 3 to 1 of f of x dx. That equals 6. We want to find the integral from 1 to 3. We had this one property. Let me go back up real quick. Yes. So we've got this one property that says if you have the integral from a to b, well, it says if you flip them, if you go from b up to a, well, we just change the sign on the definite integral. So it looks like that's all that we were doing here. Let's see. Whoops, I think that should just be a +3. So notice we're just going from 3 to 1, and now we're going from 1 to 3. So we're just we're just flipping our limits of integration. That's just going to change the sign on our original value. So the integral from 1 to 3 of f of x dx, that's equal to negative the integral from 3 to 1. And we've got that is equal to -6. Okay, so part C, given that we've got the integral from a to b of f of x minus 4 dx, that equals 20. We want to find a possible value for a and b. Notice we went from -3 to +3. That integral is equal to 20, so we're just doing a shifting. So notice if we shift this function f of x on this interval -3 to 3, let's see. So f of x minus 4, that's going to shift our graph to the right 4 units. So if we shift f of x on -3 to 3, I almost said left. If we shift that right 4 units, we'll still have the same area. So we would have, so if I shift everything to the right 4 units, I'll go from -3, well, I'll add 4 to that, and then I'll go from 3, well, I'm going to add 4 to that. My new interval is going to be from 1 to 7. So notice if we look at the integral from 1 to 7 of f of x minus 4 dx, that's still going to equal 20. So again, I've just taken the same region, I've just shifted it to the right. So those are going to be our values for a and b. So a equals 1, b equals 7. Part D, given that from -3 to 3 of f of x plus k dx, that equals 32, we want to find k. So in part D, well, I can break this up into two separate integrals. So we've got the integral from -3 to 3 of f of x dx plus the integral from -3 to 3 of k dx. We know that's going to equal 32. Well, from -3 to 3, we said from -3 to 3, our function was equal to just 20. Okay, so we can subtract 20 from both sides. So from -3 to 3 of k dx, we want that to equal, not 32, but 12. 32 minus 20 will be 12. And again, we can think about, okay, so we're going from -3 up to +3. We've got this line y equals k. I know that my integral has to be positive. It's got to be positive 12, so I know that my function's going to have to be above. Let's try this one more time. So there's the line y equals k. Well, when I compute this definite integral from -3 to 3, I'm just getting the area of a rectangle. So it's going to have a width of 6, right? We'll go from 3 up to -3. The height is going to be equal to just k. So the definite integral is going to have value 6 times k. We want that to equal 12. Just divide both sides by 6, and we'll get that k equals 2.